Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the 606 Media Studios, this is the TCSF podcast with Big Z. This week, we are featuring Steven Batista from the No Water on the Weekend. We got No Sweat Surge with his knowledge of betting. We got JC for his fantasy football, our fantasy football guru. And special guest, we have a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Greg Braggs from CHGO Sports and founder of Braggs in the Stands. Greg, thank you for joining us, and we're about to have a lot of fun with this bear stuff.
Yeah, no problem at all. See,
Tons of fun.
You almost
let's give a round of applause for our guest here.
Yeah, no round of applause necessary. But we give Big Z a round of applause because he almost said CGO. I've heard CHGO. I've heard CGO. A lot of people always struggle with it, and I'm like, guys, it's 4 letters. You can't find No, I'm playing Big Z.
I think he was just thinking about me, Sergio.
4 letters too, and people fuck it up.
People call it CHGO and all sorts of things. I'm like, man.
I think I'm one of those persons. Not just kidding.
Said CHGO, like let's go.
Well, that's the one that's the craziest. CHGO. I'm like, you spelled the first 2 letters, and then you're spelling out like, come on now. No, it's all good. It's all good.
Oh,
I just assumed he was thinking about me. He was going to say Sergio.
Yeah, Sergio.
No, not at all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, episode 175 is brought to you by 606 Media, True Chicago Sports fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go over there to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt like this. Woohoo! Search for keyword True Chicago. Use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. Get your shirts now. Boys, it's been a crazy week with sports in Chicago. Our Bears were bird killers the past 2 weeks. We took last week off because of the holiday. So 2 weeks in a row killing birds. It felt like we were playing duck hunt. There's a lot of Eberflus news, and we secured our number 1 pick in the 2024 draft. The Bulls are 10-5 without Zach Lavine. What does this mean for his future and the Bulls' future going in 2024? And then you had Drummond turning back the clock with 2 double-doubles and then over 24 rebounds one game and 25 the next game. So I mean, Absolutely. This guy's a monster. All that plus more, and what you're looking at as we discuss what we've been watching. So let's talk Bears football, ladies and gentlemen. This is 3 and Out. All right, Greg, I'm going to introduce you to this segment. This is 3 and Out. What we do is we provide 3 main points about this past week in Bears football, and then we'll punt it out before we go to break. Our first down topic is the Bears win over Atlanta, but how good is this win? And then jointly, has Justin Fields cemented his QB1 status? We'll let the guests go first.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think this is an impressive win. Atlanta's got one of the better defenses in football. I mean, you can pick through some different stats, but they're not a slouch. It's not like Arizona, who was 30th in DVOA in football on defense at least. And Atlanta definitely has some firepower. So I hold a lot of stock in this game. They've had their ups and downs throughout the year, but they're 4-2 since Justin Fields has returned. And yeah, they've beaten some cupcake teams, but I wouldn't qualify Atlanta as one of them. I mean, just last week, they really took it to the Indianapolis Colts, who are in a playoff hunt. And even when we try to define cupcake games, I mean, the Eagles played Arizona this week and the Eagles lost to Arizona. So, you can try to play that game, but at the end of the day, wins are wins in this league. Go look at the Dallas Cowboys schedule. They've beaten some bad teams to build up their record. Bears are beating who's on their schedule, and this week they beat a team that, in my opinion, is at least defensively an impressive team to what they did as far as putting up 37 points. Now, Taylor Heineke and their offense, that's a different story, but if we're going to stick to strictly to what Justin Fields did against that defense, I was impressed.
Boys, chime in.
Well, Happy New Year. I just want to throw that out there for everyone. Because Jose didn't say it, I'll say it. But I'm pretty impressed with Justin. I know after the game, everyone was chanting Justin Fields, which is a great thing for the city. I really like that. They had his back. That's what, the fans want who are there. I agree with the fans. And also, I love the fans showed up because it was snowing. It was cold. That's called dedication. I love that. But Justin went 20 for 32, 268 yards and 1 touchdown. Last couple of weeks when we've won, he's been under 200. So it's nice to see him throw close to 300. I think that's really impressive. He definitely balled out. He had some fun. I mean, JC, I lost my fantasy football league last week, first round in the playoffs, having the number 1 seed. I had to pay the money in today. So I felt like, a loser, but I wanted DJ Moore to get more touchdowns, but he did get 1. He got some more, 9 receptions, almost 200 yards. Well, 159 yards, but I was happy with the offense. I like to see more of this, and defense held up. They did their job.
JC.
Well, I was going to say, you're not the only one that got bounced out of the fantasy playoffs. So I got bounced out in round 2
with Jose.
Unfortunately,
No, I got.
I was going to say, I'm like, holy, like wow.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, Devontae Adams had no running back other than C-Mac. Had to start Latavius Murray, goose egg. And like I said, the rest of my team, Purdy threw 4 interceptions. It was ugly for me. So
it wasn't Purdy.
No. But I will say this: happy Marvin Harrison Jr. because it's looking like that's going to be the guy we're going to go for. Fans are cheering for Justin Fields. I'm happy for the young man. I think he's earned it now. I've probably been the staunch person here saying he needs to show me more. He needs to show me more.
Oh, I've been the same boat.
And like I said, I think it's starting to come together. Frankly, I think still Getsy still needs to maybe get that axe. But, like I said, I've always been critical of Justin because, you sit there and look, 38 games started, only 5 games over 250 yards, only 2 games over 300 yards. So I've kind of been saying for a long time now, he needs to show me more from the passing attack. I know he's a fabulous runner, pulling Houdini tricks out of, thin air and running for touchdowns. But, unfortunately, like I said, it's beautiful deep ball, but it's kind of those quick hit your 3-5 step and get the ball into short yardage across the middle. I need to see more of that out of him with, in passing in timing, if you will. But like I said, I mean, how can we not be happy with this outcome? The last time we were on, you guys asked me what my Christmas wish was, and I wish for the Panthers to stop fucking around and lose out. And thank God my wish came true. Like I said, I'm a happy man.
All right, and I'm going to steal something from all 3 of yous. And it appears that Greg hit it on the note when he said, hey, we're beating these bad teams and so forth. But we're beating teams we're supposed to beat, like Dallas. You're supposed to beat up on them bad teams, right? So we did what we were supposed to do, and they didn't let us off the hook. So we'll put it on that way. And then I'm going to go ahead to Steven's side, where I love that snow weather. When I was watching it here in Colorado, I don't live in Chicago, but we live here in Colorado, and we're watching the snow. I was like, that's football weather. That's what I like. We used to be outside playing in that weather. So to see these guys playing in it, nobody beats us in that weather, really. Are we kidding? Predominantly, we will win those games.
There was
that New England game. We're going to talk about that New England game like 20 years ago. But we will look at this type of weather and enjoy it. And then we're going to go down to Fields. Fields he's been playing the way we wanted him to play for the last couple of years. Injury and so forth, right?
Yep.
Here's the problem. The offensive coordinator needs to go. He needs to go because they're going to keep the head coach. That's the rumor, right? He's going to stay. No more hardball. No more all this other stuff. He's possibly going to stay. But we need wide receivers because we were relying on the Mooney lookalike, which was Scott, dropping everything. So we do need some more weapons on offense. And Fields will obviously turn out the way we need him to turn out. So he's gonna pass Love. I know I put that on there as Love versus Fields and how they match up and so forth. But Fields is starting to come along really, really well. He's putting it on them. But these second halves look like, and I apologize, shit. These second halves, they come in the third quarter, and I don't know what the hell happens. It's like a whole new team out there, and then we wind up scrambling in the fourth quarter to try to win. We almost lost that game too. So we need to really put something together, but I do like the way Fields is coming along, and I do like the possible fact that we're giving him a chance. So
yeah.
Yeah,
to go back, the Falcons defense ranked 15th in rushing, 8th in passing, and 9th overall. So, I mean, they beat the teams they're supposed to beat in Minnesota, ugly win, Arizona, a better win, you know, as far as doing some more things offensively. But the Falcons team, you know, top 10 team ranked defensively, it's not necessarily a team you're supposed to beat, a team that you beat straight up that has some talent. So,
yeah, with the Falcons, I really think they're a quarterback away from being a halfway decent team, possibly even a playoff team. Unfortunately, Ritter and Heineke's good. You know, it's like a Tyler Bagent, you know, fill in for a game or two here or there, but not necessarily the guy you want to roll out there and be your guy. So, I mean, they got, you know, Drake London, they've got Pitts, they've got Bijan now, which I don't know what Atlanta's doing with Bijan. I mean, it's crazy. You drafted that guy so high to not use him, which, you know, that'll be solved. I think Atlanta's going to move on from their coach potentially, so hopefully that'll all get solved. But like I said, I mean, they're a quarterback away from being halfway decent, maybe a second wide receiver to, you know, play across from Drake London. But I mean, stud running back, stud tight end, stud wide receiver. You just got to get a quarterback in there and potentially an offensive line to, you know, keep the quarterback upright. But like I said, I mean, Atlanta's no slouch, like Greg said.
I will say this: the stat came out that Atlanta is 0-4 this season playing in cold weather. So I just want to throw that out there. Not taking away anything from the win, but I'm just saying it you know.
Hey, remember when Michael Vick came over here and he had the snot coming down his nose, the big coat, and he didn't want to go back on the field? And that was I think
that was when he was with the Eagles, right?
No, I think he was with Atlanta.
He was still in Atlanta at that point.
He came with the big coat and everything. He didn't want to go back out in the field. It was too cold.
Yeah, he was not about that life. Just to wrap up this first down, Justin Fields played pretty good. The offense looked like it was more catered to his abilities. What I did love to see was that DJ Moore was moved around. He wasn't just on the left side or just the right side. They moved him around. They put him in a slot. They moved him into different situations. That is what we've been asking for him to do, because if he's matched up versus the number one defensive back or corner or whatever it is, he's going to have a tougher chance, or if he's getting double teamed. If you move him around, you know, put him in motion, you're going to have more opportunities to have him get more receptions. Love that. The running game, we had 3 touchdowns rushing, Khalil Herbert, Fields, and Roschon Johnson. I like that there was a lot more rushing by the running backs. I still want to see about 25 rushes from the running backs, not just 15, 10, and the bulk of it being Justin Fields, right? So Herbert had 18 and Roschon had 7. I want to see a little bit more. I know Herbert was on a roll this past game. Bayless Jones should not be getting the ball at all. I don't know why he's getting the ball in the running game, in those sweeps and those crazy plays. And then, you know, I want to give the flowers to the defense, right? The defense came up with, I believe, 4 interceptions. I'm sorry. This is the team that's been showing out. Who went down with the shoulder injury on defense?
That's a good question.
Was that Jalen? No, that wasn't Jalen Johnson.
Yeah,
that
you're right. Jalen Johnson.
He went over and tried to arm tackle the running back, just really putting his shoulder out there. What did you expect was going to happen? That dude's like twice your size.
Yep.
Like sometimes the way they tackle it just doesn't make any sense. Put your arms around them and take them down. I just don't understand the avoiding physicality when this is a very physical game. So just those are my notes. I didn't get to see the game live. I was shopping for the New Year's and so running around. But I did kind of fast forward on the Hulu as I went through and just catching the main plays. So for second down, the Bears are 7-9. It's pretty much where we expect them to be at this point. Do you agree that Eberflus has earned his keep? Go ahead.
Yeah, I do think he has. When you look at the progression of this team, when you take into consideration what they went through early in the season, some of the problems he created himself as the head coach, and the buck stops with him. But Alan Williams, I don't really put on him as far as whatever that situation was, and that created a lot of distraction and set them back, I'm sure, in the defensive room. Never mind the fact that their whole secondary was hurt at one point, and you didn't have a pass rush, you didn't have Montez Sweat. So, sometimes your system is only as good as your personnel. Now you get Montez Sweat in there, you get a secondary in there, and now you're seeing what the vision of what Matt Eberflus is trying to do here. And they're 7-5 since starting 0-4. And we can definitely gripe about the 3 losses they had in close games, and they're killing me, especially if they just win one of them, specifically the Cleveland game. They're probably in a situation where win and they're in on Sunday, which is very disappointing. But at the same time, I think I can start to see why they want to bring Matt Eberflus back. Now, that being said, just like Justin Fields in this situation heading into the offseason, I think both guys have shown a lot of progression. But if you choose to move on from Fields because you say, yeah, Justin's gotten better, but we are striving for more with this quarterback coming out, and we want to take him. If that's the route they choose, because they're striving for great, not just better or good, then you got to hold that same standard for your head coach. And if he's doing better and he's good, but there's somebody available out there that's great, Mike Tomlin might be available this offseason. He has 17 straight seasons as the head coach of the Steelers without a losing record. That is insane. He is great as a head coach. Bill Belichick, his resume speaks for itself. He is great as a head coach. Jim Harbaugh, they're tied with Michigan right now with 1:20 to go. Jim Harbaugh's resume in the NFL and in college speaks for itself in a lot of ways, even with his craziness that comes along with him. So there are options out there that you can make an argument are an upgrade from Matt Eberflus. So I'm just saying, like, if you're considering improving this roster or changing out a guy as popular as Justin Fields, who's shown progression, I want them to at least consider those avenues with the head coach as well. But ultimately, I think Matt Eberflus returns next year.
JC.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, JC.
You already started, Steven. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Okay.
Steven, go ahead.
I will say
you guys are too polite. Carm tries to talk and I just cut him off all day long.
Oh yeah, no. I try to be as polite as I can.
The audio, so we just want to be polite to each other.
I got you.
Yeah. I'll say if Justin goes, Eberflus has to go. I mean, let's start from scratch. But then, I'm hearing things where it's like if Justin goes, the locker room's going to be, in shambles. And in my head, I'm like, I could see that. But also, again, in baseball, in sports, it's a job, right? In baseball, you get traded, you move on, shake hands. I think Moneyball taught me that. And but I just think it's a job and stuff like that. You can't be that personal. Yes, you can make connection, but it's all up in the air. I think get a new offensive coordinator. But again, look at the Cubs. They upgraded, and I think if the Bears have an opportunity to do that, why not? Right.
Well, to your point, in Chicago, we have a history of this. Doug Collins got traded out for Phil Jackson. Dennis Savard with the Blackhawks got traded out for Joel Quenneville. That was a very unpopular move in the moment.
Right.
And the Cubs have done it a couple times here, like you mentioned this year.
Rick Renteria was one of them,
and Rick Renteria got shown out for Joe Madden. So we've seen this happen, right? So we've seen this happen a few times. So I don't know if it's the smartest move. Football really needs that continuity, that system and consistency. That is important, but I just think everything should be on the table. This is a pivotal offseason for the Bears.
Right. Wow. I with Caleb, I don't know if it bothers you guys, but, saying Green Bay, not wanting to come to Chicago. I know if it's just the press trying to get something out of it. I don't know. But again, I'm okay. I'm happy to be with Justin. I'm happy with Eberflus. I would just change the offensive coordinator if everything stays the same. So, Jose.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jose.
Go ahead, Serge. Go ahead, Serge.
Yeah, let me chime in on that because you know what? With DJ Moore stepping up and stating what he said, and it's like, I don't want Caleb Williams. We're fine with Fields. Why the hell would we want to go with that when we have this and Fields is awesome? I am all for that's continuity there. That they're all uniting with each other, stating
loyalty.
That we want this guys. What more do you want? That is a locker room that is going to be committed to their. Now we might need a couple new wide receivers, but Moore ain't one of them. So why are we not respecting that and say, you know what, Moore might walk if we lose this guy, right? So why not respect what the locker room is asking and say, let's keep Fields, and I'm with you guys. If Fields goes, then head coach goes, and so forth and so forth. That's what happened here in Denver, right? Where Sean Payton inherited Wilson, and he doesn't want Wilson, so he's always in this. Now he's benched because he does contract, blah 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 blah. But you have a whole spew of locker room saying we want to keep Fields. We like Fields. What the hell are you guys talking about another damn quarterback? We're going to start from scratch all over again? That's stupid. It's stupid. So I'm with it. I'm with everybody being kumbaya. Right, that's my point on that.
JC?
Yeah, so going off of what Serge just said, basically, to me, I agree. I mean, if you've got guys in the locker room standing up, pounding the table, saying this is our guy, not only that, I mean, the fans made it known that Justin is our guy, and
Absolutely,
with everything that's coming out, on X, from Caleb Williams, dude, take that drama somewhere else, and I hope you're the next Jamarcus Russell. You know what? Paint your fingernails, sit there and re-like tweets that, you don't want to come to the Bears. That's fine. I don't care. Dude, half of your team over the weekend was saying we're a team now. It's not just some individual, so you know what, to me, like I said, you got one locker room saying this is our guy, we want him. And you got another locker room saying this guy was a diva, we're a team now.
He was so. If the backup
like
had 400 yards, that tells you the system is what's working, right?
Yeah. So I mean, going beyond that, to talk to Braggs right quick, I'm a little more, I'm relaxed. I don't like to chime in over people because it gives me more time to drink my margaritas.
You haven't been on No on the Weekend. You got to listen to today's episode.
On No on the Weekend, it'll be fun.
But the one thing I will agree with Greg is that I do like Tomlin. I've been preaching it. It's on the page. I said Tomlin. They're like, oh no, Tomlin. Well, here's the problem: is that Belichick is outdated to me. I don't give a shit what anybody says. The guy is outdated. Yes, he has a proven track record, but his proven track record was with who? Tom
Brady.
And that's a certain system that Fields will not be comfortable with. And then he's gonna say, "Oh, let's get rid of Fields." Why? That doesn't make sense. And who was the other guy that I wasn't too thrilled with that you said? Oh, Harbaugh. I don't mind Harbaugh, but he has an issue with the ex-Big Ten guy that works for us now, right?
We haven't heard that for sure. I mean, Jordan Schultz put a report out there. He's the only person to report that. Guy that covers the Big Ten, Adam Rittenberg, who's as close with stuff in Big Ten coverage as there is. He's never put anything out to that effect. Adam Hogue's close with Northwestern stuff. So we don't know that for sure. That's still $1 million question, but it doesn't. It seems like it's a moot point going into the offseason now because it does feel like Eberflus is going to come back. I just look at him as a guy that I saw how he adjusted his playbook with Alex Smith, adjusted it with Colin Kaepernick. He understands how to get the strengths out of his quarterback. He played the position. He played in Chicago. He has, an idea of adapting. Yeah. And we need, sometimes I feel like we need somebody that's going to shake it up in there that isn't a yes man. That's going to, shake the table, talking shit to your rival head coach with Ryan Day. Yeah. This dude was born on third base kind of talk. I love a coach that's that competitive. And I'm not saying Matt Eberflus doesn't have good qualities, but yeah, I've been dreaming of Harbaugh all year, but it probably isn't going to happen. And hey, that's because at the end of the day, it seems like Eberflus has earned it, and good for him because I want these guys to earn it. I like that this last game of the season is against Green Bay. while they have a ton on the line and it's in Green Bay. It sets up the stage because some people are like, I've seen somebody on Twitter say, let's not put too much pressure on the Bears to win this game. No, screw that. I want all
for it.
Give me all the pressure. I'm glad Green Bay's playing for something. I want them to have pressure. I want us to have pressure. That's how we're going to find out about these guys. And we're finding out a little more here lately. That's why I take a lot of stock into the way Justin played against Atlanta. You could argue the Washington game statistically was better, but this game to me meant more because we all understand what's on the line. He knows what's on the line. He's got to answer 100 questions a week about it right now. His teammates are talking about it to the press in the locker room. It's a tangible thing that's hanging over his head. And how did he respond? That like the way he did against Atlanta. And that for me, I take a lot of stock in it. It's not something you'll find on a stat sheet.
That's right.
Plus, that's his hometown team, So I love it. Again, I agree with everything you said. So I
didn't know that.
Yeah, just to chime in right quick. With the Tomlin situation, what would it have to take to get him, draft pick wise or compensation? I'm kind of leery on giving any compensation for a coach. If I'm trading picks, I want it to be a product on the field, not off the field. As for Belichick, like Serge said, he's outdated. Not so much as a coach, but you watch some of the decisions that his dog made during the draft, and Tyquan Thornton and some of these guys. It's like his dog's literally sitting there on camera during the draft while you don't know where Belichick's at. So it's like, and you just watch some of the. So I'm sorry, like Belichick, I know he's a great coach, but not only that, his way of media presence, his way of controlling the locker room where, there's no fun, this is no fun.
Dated.
Remember the Titans, no fun, sir. No, we're not having no fun, sir.
I want to hear him say the miracle.
He's going to want to be GM as well, and that's not going to happen. That's as simple as that. That's not going to happen.
The man is dated. He's dated.
The Harbaugh one is the most intriguing one to me. You got to hire him. Like Bragg said, he knows how to work with a young quarterback, knows how to curtail a system around him like he did with Kaepernick. Kaepernick was not that great a quarterback. He had a hard time hitting the broadside of a barn with some of his passes, but he knew, as a running quarterback, he made it work. So, like I said, to me, the one that interests me is Harbaugh. I've been saying for weeks, I'm not necessarily against Justin Fields, but I would like to see them, third, fourth round, potentially take another quarterback to have as a developmental and to push him a little bit. Bajent, good quarterback, but is he pushing him enough in practice to make him feel that I'm coming for your job? I've done a bunch of different mock drafts now, and I doubt he'll be there in the third round, but I've taken Bo Nix a couple times in some of these mock drafts in the third round, and it's I would love to see him as a third round where it's Justin, you're still our guy. This is our fallback plan. We're still looking at, you're coming up on your fifth year. We're still coming up on, we may have to pay you. We still have to make decisions as a franchise. Like I said, I don't care. Draft a quarterback next year. Draft a quarterback. It's the most important position in football.
Yeah.
If you're not throwing darts, you're missing.
Well, that's imagine it's not starter material. Look at what's going on with Cincinnati, Bengals. That guy, I'm gonna be honest. I was looking at my kids. I'm like, oh, this guy's doing really good. And then all of a sudden, he had that backup quarterback game. It's just he doesn't play all 4 quarters. He started throwing all these interceptions and getting sacked. And it's oh no, what happened? So you sit there and you're like, oh shit. Maybe that is that guy.
Yeah, I was saying Cinderella. Yeah.
Your time is up.
Lost both shoes, baby. He lost both shoes.
Right. Yeah, Tyson's gonna be Greg Orton eventually. Kyle Orton. Why did I say Greg? I was thinking of Greg Olsen for a second because
right.
But yeah, so
that is going to segues us to our third down topic. We secured the number 1 pick with the Carolina losing this past week. The $1 million question is, what do we do with the number 1 pick? You have Washington at 2, New England at 3, Arizona at 4. The Giants are at 5, Chargers at 6, Tennessee at 7, the Jets are at 8, Atlanta at 9, and Chicago back at 10. So what do we do with this pick? In my opinion, since we're not going to be drafting the quarterback at 1, in my opinion, I think you go after Marvin Harrison Jr. You trade down with Washington so they can get their quarterback, and you capitalize on picking more draft pick, more capital. And then pick up an offensive lineman with your second pick in the draft. That is my opinion. We've sent it a couple of times, but Greg, what is your belief on what Chicago's going to do in the draft?
This is a really tough decision, man, for Ryan Poles. Justin made it a lot tougher here this yesterday. And that's a great thing for the Bears because it just lifts the draft stock for, what you're going to do. It lifts, Justin Fields stock if you choose to trade him. I know that would be a very unpopular decision here in Chicago. We all saw how much the fans have his back, how much the team has his back, and I think Ryan Poles is definitely going to take those things into account. So I'm going to split this up into 2 different sections. What I would do, and Bears fans would kill me, but if I was a GM, I'd probably draft Caleb Williams, and I would trade Justin Fields for a first-round pick. And there's a lot of fans that would be upset at that, and I understand why. And Justin's certainly pushing the needle every game, especially if he were to kick the shit out of Green Bay. I think you'd have to ask me again in a week. I'm going to hold a lot of stock into that game because it's going to show me something. There's a lot of pressure in that game. You play the way you did against Atlanta, against Green Bay. I even think Ryan Poles won't move off of them. And so it's really, it could not be more down the middle. Because you can make a solid argument both ways, in my opinion. I do think Caleb Williams has a ton of talent. His maturity is definitely a question mark. You don't know for sure how he's going to handle being an NFL pro. At the same time, I think he's already been scrutinized enough here. This year as a collegiate athlete, he's on commercials. He's getting picked apart for his painted fingernails and hanging out with his dog after games, not talking to the media, crying to his mom, and he's getting criticized on a national stage for those things. So right. I think he's already understands what the spotlight is, or at least is trained for it. So it's such a tough argument. But then if you're gonna stick with Fields, which I think they can be very competitive if they choose to do that. As much as I love Marvin Harrison Jr. and I love him, if you don't trade that pick back for 3 future first-round picks, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice. Like you're putting all your eggs in next year's basket if you do that. Yeah. If you trade that pick back and now you have 2 first-round picks the next 3 years, you're still going to get players this year. Malik Neighbors, the wide receiver from Washington's very good. There's even a couple wide receivers after those guys. Yeah, Adunze, and you got a couple more guys. Thomas, who had a couple touchdowns earlier this afternoon. Brian Thomas, that's going to be high up there that a lot of people don't know about yet. So
Keon Coleman from Florida State, absolutely. So, I think if you're going to talk about, hey, let's try to be the Niners, let's try to be the Eagles, let's be the Dolphins or the Lions who's building a roster around a quarterback, then you got to kind of practice what you preach and put as much draft assets into the future of this team this year and years going forward. And to me, that's the most disciplined approach. You start going keep Fields, forget Caleb, go Marvin Harrison Jr., you're shooting for the stars. You are shooting for the stars. You're going, and I'll respect it. I'll be excited. I'll be the first one lined up to get a Marvin Harrison Jr. jersey because the dude's a baller. But man, you are literally throwing it, pushing all your chips in the middle of the table, like in Rounders at the end of the movie. Like, let's go, And so I like that. I think there's a lot of risk doing that with Caleb.
Well, Greg, I want to pick apart something that you wrote earlier on Twitter, and you said it beautifully. It's consistency, and Ryan Poles wants to see consistency quote unquote consistency out of Fields. And then you also said, and I noticed you didn't mention it now, if they beat Green Bay next week, what would your feelings be then? Because you said it correctly. If the evidence is there, right, to change your mind, as you wrote to somebody, and I liked it. If you go back, I'm the one who liked that comment because you said there's evidence on the field. So if there's evidence on the field, what would your feelings be next week? Do you say now trade? Because you could still trade that first round pick and still get a whole bunch for it and still keep Fields.
Right.
I'm off of Marvin Harris. Yeah, him. But we don't know what he's going to turn out to be in the pro. Look at, we went and got White. What happened to White? And then Jeffries left. And then we get all these goddamn wide receivers that don't do shit. You know?
Yeah,
so,
but I don't know. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a dog, man.
Yeah.
But here's another thing. We don't know if he's going to leave college because they're throwing all this money at him.
He's definitely leaving college, man. So
he sat out the bowl game. If you sit out the bowl game, you're pretty much saying.
So? I think so. And then the other aspect when you talk about wide receiver, to go the other way with it, is the one. I am a huge Ryan Poles disciple, but the one spot he's had trouble with is wide receiver. Velus Jones Jr. Trading for Chase Claypool. Tyler Scott this year when a guy like Tank Dell was out there.
Mooney Jr.
So, he hasn't had great luck with wide receiver. And to me, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a can't miss. You want to talk about generational talent. He's been born and bred for this since he was a young buck. In elementary school. I think some of these guys, Brian Baldinger has known him since he was in middle school, and they all knew he was going to be a first round pick, all these years later.
Right.
He understands wide receiver leverage as a high schooler better than a lot of these pros do. Like he's built for this. So
my question to you is, would your feelings change this weekend? As you stated on Twitter, would it change? Would your whole thing change if they beat Green Bay?
Yeah, if they beat the Green Bay Packers the way they beat Atlanta, I wear the way I watch sports. Like people are like, come at me sometimes like I'm Hogue. I analyze sports. Yeah, it's my job now, but my role isn't to be Hogue. My role isn't to break down film like balls.
You're not hedging.
Right. I'm just gonna speak from my heart. You know what I mean? So if they beat the crap out of Green Bay, because at the end of the Falcons game, I'm sitting there, I was texting my buddy, I'm like, Fields is back next year. And because that's just the emotional train that I ride. And I just see it. Like it's starting to feel like those mid 2000 years with Lovey, the way the team is coming together. So when I see those things, like I'm not looking at because people will start throwing stats at me or show me the teams they beaten and throw all these different reasons. Like that's not how I look at things. It's a it when you see it kind of thing. Right. And in the Atlanta game, it's right there in your face, man. And you can say, well, it's only one game. Yeah, but they're building up to this. So that's why the Green Bay game, if you stack those wins because that to me holds a lot of weight. I'm probably going to go back and forth on it 100 times. Mm-hmm. So my definition is some people are going to be like, well, that's hedging. No, to me, hedging is not being honest with who you're talking to. And when I have a platform like I do, or if I'm on my show, I'm never going to say something to who's listening to me and pander to people. I'm just going to say how I feel. Right or wrong, emotional or not, I'm just telling you what's coming from my heart. I'm not trying. So to me, that's different than people that are trying to just say everything so they're not wrong. I don't give a shit if I'm wrong. I was the one saying Chase Claypool's going to have a great year, and they're still making fun of me about it on this show.
Own it. I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong. So
but this time around, people are like, well, you got to pick a side. Dude, this is a hard decision for Ryan Poles.
It changes week to week.
He can't. Ryan's not even picked a side yet.
He has no idea what he's doing yet. There's nothing solidified yet. We've been on this talking about this 15, 16, 17 weeks now at this point. Yeah. We've changed our mind at least 5 times. Get rid of Justin. Now we're like, hey, Justin might be the dude now.
I changed my mind.
I want to quote Greg. I want to quote him. predictions are a part of the game, but you're allowed to change them as new evidence presents itself, quote and unquote. And that is the way it is. It's week to week. So that's why I'm asking you next week, if they ball out or he does good, what is your new intake on that?
Yeah,
So you've already enlightened us on that.
I feel like me and Braggs are kind of on a similar level here. So let me say this. Here's what I want to see coming into this Green Bay game, right? The Bears have forced 4 turnovers in multiple games now, right? So we have scored 27 points against Atlanta with 4 interceptions. We also had a game where we scored 10 points on offense after having 3 interceptions and a forced fumble. So to me, I want to see what can Justin Fields do if this defense cannot support him and get him the ball back 4 or 5 times in a game.
Nothing.
Because to me, that's the decision we need to make is if he cannot put points up on his own with an offense, and you know, me and my guys outside of this show have been talking, you know, Frank Reich is going to get fired. You know, he is a potential offensive coordinator that could come in. He has history with Eberflus. So Frank Reich is a name. I've already said Ron Rivera is getting fired. Eric Bieniemy, you know, I don't know that he's the best offensive coordinator, but I would like to see him over Getsy calling how many bubble screens and pass plays at the line of scrimmage. I can't watch a game anymore and watch screenplays. Like
Rivera's defense.
Makes me want to, you know.
Yeah. You're on
mute.
Braggs, I think you're muted.
You know what might be on? Sorry about that. Rookie mistake. Michigan just beat Bama. You know what might be on the table? You know what might be on the table is Eberflus was talking about today that he's going to consider still calling plays defensively next year because he likes it. He said he's good at it. He's, you know, passionate about it. So maybe, just maybe, and people might not like the name, but maybe Frank Reich comes in here as an assistant head coach and not the offense coordinator. And you keep Eberflus, you keep Getsy, and you bring in Frank Reich as a guy that can help Eberflus with head coaching duties, since Eberflus wants to call plays defensively and there's a lot going on the sidelines, and then also help Luke Getsy when he has literally, you know, has a stroke trying to call a play on 4th and 1.
Yeah, Getsy can't be helped.
Right.
I mean, when you're stalling every time after halftime.
4th and 1, Vales Jones, where you at? Get out there.
Yeah. You're not doing anything.
No, I'll say this, Greg. Anytime I follow my heart, it always breaks me. 2, is that job hiring? And 3, I'm kidding. But no,
you're fired, Steven.
I'm fired. Oh, I've heard that before many times. Jalen Johnson,
trying to
pay the
platforms.
Man. I would say pay the man. He deserves it. But you know, I just say keep Fields, right? Regardless of what happens on Sunday. But he doesn't need one wide receiver. He needs more than one. He needs at least 2, right? Mooney has many opportunities. He said out publicly that he wants to be more of the offense. And, you know, he's just not performed that well. And maybe it's the offensive coordinator, the plays, stuff like that. I don't know what it is. But, you know, he has probably some kind of draft, ability for him to be traded and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think when it comes down to having the draft and stuff like that, you need to draft wide receivers at this point or an offensive line, things like that you need to help Justin if you're going to put him in the position to win. But other than that, you know, DJ is a great player, right? But you see Justin always try to like whiz it in real quick to get him the opportunity to score a touchdown and stuff like that. And then Komet, you know, he's always the second. I think he's number 2. I don't know where everyone else comes about when they, you know, do the plays, but he needs 2 wide receivers at least. Maybe someone who's in the later round, but someone who's at least, you know, able to catch the ball in the end zone when it's a final Hail Mary play, right? So
Yeah.
I think
Marvin Harrison Jr. has 2 touchdowns yesterday.
Right, he could be the first draft pick, but then I want another wide receiver somewhere along the line in the draft or an offensive
line in the draft. Yeah, but you got to draft a center. Lucas Patrick is fucking horrible. You can put me out there. I can hike the ball a little bit better and more consistent. I may get run over. Yeah. That's for sure. That's going to happen. I'm going to get run over. But at least I can hike it directly to Justin Fields perfectly with a spiral right into his hands.
That's good content. Let's try it. Let me try to rush you. And we'll have Sean try to catch the ball.
Get into the floor, sir. I played a little football. Just what I'm saying is I'm not playing against those pros. Lucas Patrick literally, I think he went countered by, it was maybe 8 to 10 hikes where like he threw Justin out of rhythm.
Yeah, I said a couple of weeks ago, like he hikes the ball down at Justin's feet. It'll be to the left, the right, over his shoulders. Like the ball just ends up everywhere.
That Bronco game was the same way. It was the last 2 minutes or whatever in the fourth quarter. They threw it right over his head or whatever, and it's horrible. And it's those bad snaps.
Yeah. Just to wrap up. So my personal opinion on this, the way the draft is falling is absolutely perfect for the frickin' Bears to just walk away with I sent a gif of Scrooge McDuck like swimming in gold, because we could walk away with MHJ at 3. So say we trade back with the Washington Commanders move up because unfortunately Howell, my dynasty quarterback, shit the bed. He will no longer be the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders. So you have the Commanders who need a quarterback, the Patriots who unfortunately, unless they see something in Zappy, I don't, they need a quarterback. So there's your 2 quarterbacks, Drake May, Caleb Williams off the board. You get MHJ at 3, and you get Washington Commanders 2nd round pick this year, a first next year, potential another first in 2026, and or multiple 2nd, 3rd, whatever you want to call it. So then we're sitting there. You got MHJ at 3. You get me a guy like Chop Robinson in that 10 to 13 range. If we beat the Packers, you get me somebody across from Montez Sweat, who is just a bull rusher, a nasty high motor guy. I'm cool with that. Then you sit there and say, okay, we got the Washington Commanders 2nd round pick, and you get me a Frazier or a Van Pran at offensive center. I'm walking away saying, hallelujah. Like we just stole this from the NFL. But like I said, it's one of those where also often like we got $80 million in free agency. The center from the Miami Dolphins, although he tore his ACL, I would love to see them sign a guy like that. You got Brian Burns, you got Daniel Hunter. You got edge rushers off the board that, you could pay to be across from Sweat. So, the Bears are in the perfect position. $80 million in cap, and we got money to blow. And like I said, we got a young, great crew. Brisker playing out of his mind. Gordon playing out of his mind. Tyreek Stevenson, a rookie, 79 tackles. I don't know how many interceptions now.
He's got 4.
He's a stud.
That's fair.
Like I said, the only person that I feel like Poles has really missed on is Velus Jones. Otherwise, like I haven't, when he made the Sweat trade, I was a little bit hesitant because again, there wasn't a deal in place to sign Sweat to a long-term deal. So, But once that was done, it was like, dude, this is great. 2nd round pick, boom, done. And then you see the production that, and the, like, just the whole defense coming around Sweat, and it like everything that has happened since Sweat has arrived. It like I said, everything is pointing arrows up for the Bears right now.
I agree.
So
I agree. It's exciting stuff. They could trade from 1 to 2, then 2 to 3. If I was getting crazy, that's what I do.
Yeah, I agree. I do the same thing.
I trade 1 to 2, just because I'd be worried about making sure whoever's at 2 doesn't take Harrison. And then I'd sit there at 2, hold that pick for ransom for whoever wants Drake May, then move back to 3, gain as much as I possibly can, then take Marvin Harrison Jr. So, like, right now,
the only thing is you cannot move back past Arizona, because if Arizona keeps Kyler Murray,
right.
What's their number one?
No,
need?
they're 100% going to draft.
They need a wide receiver, which I'm not against. Malik Neighbors, I watch his game film. Everything is hands. It's boom out here, hands, everything. It doesn't matter if he's 40 yards downfield or he's running a slant. Everything he catches is with his hands.
Yep.
Nothing comes near his body. So to me, like even walking away with Neighbors, let's do it.
Exciting stuff.
All right. Yeah, right. Before we get out of the Bears segment, we're going to punt it to our predictions for the Packers games. We'll kick it off to our guest. What is your prediction for the Packers game with a score, please?
God dang it. This early in the week, I got to come up with this. Don't be telling Hogue and Carm what I said, because then they're going to try to copy.
They blocked me. I'm kidding.
They blocked.
I'm kidding.
You're not missing much with Carm and his Bajan takes. No, yeah. God damn it.
We talking about Carmen?
I don't know. Mark
Carmen is
Mark Carmen. He's the one guy that makes me look smart in Chicago sports media. Man, I like normally I like whittle my way all the way. We give our predictions on Fridays, and I go through.
Well, just give us a winner then.
We won't hold you to it.
Yeah, give us a winner.
No. I don't know. I'm probably gonna pick the Bears, but I did this shit week 1 and then they got beat. I was so confident they were gonna beat the shit out of the Packers, and then they lost, and I was heartbroken. And it's like I'm building myself up for this game so much. And like I said, me, Carmen, Hogue are all tied for the lead at CHGO for picking the games this year. Last year I won it outright easy because clearly I'm the smartest guy there, but this year I'm trying to defend my crown. So this is a big pick.
You could say your pick here, me wrong, but when you're on your show, you can be right.
Or like, if they tune in, then throw them off the beaten path. No, I'm probably gonna pick the Bears to win. I don't exactly know where the score is right this minute, but let's say somewhere, I think like 30-27.
Oh shit! I had your same boat. I was gonna say the same thing.
30-27, maybe 30-21. I don't know this. Because the Bears defense flying around. They got all these interceptions here, 17, 18 interceptions in the last like 6 games or whatever. Jordan Love looked impressive last night.
He did.
But at the same
just
time,
real quick, what's the status on Jalen Johnson? Is his shoulder
after the game, he talked about how he's been looking forward to this rematch. So his comments coming out of the locker room after the game sounded like he's going to be playing next week.
Okay.
But we won't know for sure until we start seeing the injury report as we get through the week.
Yeah, because I mean he's such a major part of our secondary that
like
I said, he's not necessarily Revis Island, but I mean anybody he goes against, he pretty much locks down. So to have him out would change my numbers a little bit. So personally, I'm going to go Bears as well, but I'm probably going to go 27-20. Just thinking that, if the Bears can stop Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, and we can just literally keep turning the ball over, like I said, 27-20 would probably be in the range I'd be thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I know their wide receivers are a little banged up. I don't know if they're going to be in this upcoming weekend. Christian, I believe his last name's Watson. Am I wrong?
Watson, yeah.
Watson, yeah. So he has a hamstring injury. I don't know if he's going to be coming back this Sunday. But you know what? I've been shitting on the Bears to lose the whole time last couple of weeks. I'm going to say, prove me wrong. Let me bet on you. Let's win. So I'm going to go with Bears. I'll say 26-21 Bears. I'll do that one.
All right, there you go. Steven picked the Bears, so that means Packers.
Oh, damn, motherfucker.
That shit happens when I bet on the Bulls.
I think you and I were the only ones that picked Cleveland, right? That one.
Yeah, pretty much.
We picked Cleveland. Well, here's my pick. and I'm gonna be the asshole because unfortunately we
I
get
love you, man. You
yeah,
like it, I love it, man. Be you.
My thing is that I want the Bears to win, but unfortunately we've done it over and over where that secondary collapses in the second half, where they just start throwing bombs. Flacco, why was Flacco all of a sudden throwing dimes and shit like he's fucking 22 again?
He got a break.
Okay, well we gave it to him. So
the man had his Kurt Warner resurgence. I mean,
right.
come on.
His wife and the kids are gone that weekend. He was able.
Here's the thing.
And he was getting plenty of sleep on the bench.
Yeah, he had it against the Bears. So, and the Bears have done this on time and time and again because it happened with the Broncos. So you know what? I'm going to give it to Green Bay. I think they win. I think it's going to be 36-24.
Jordan ain't gonna get no love, that's for sure. This week,
I hope not. I hope we go. But look at we can't even hold any water on the O line. Sometimes we got this guy running around in the fourth quarter, like
Green Bay's defense is horrible though.
It's horrible, but we make everybody look like geniuses in the second half. Where the hell do we go?
Greg, what you drinking?
I got Diet Pepsi.
Our souls leave
watching my figure
in the locker room. It's insane. So I got Green Bay.
Serge, I get it.
Keep flashing the liquor in front of the camera.
No, this was the Costco one.
Hey,
I opened this shit on Friday. So
I got the half gallon.
Sir. Oh boy, there you go. See, that's how you do it. I will take the Bears. 31-24. I think we come up with some crucial picks. And I think the defense will carry this team. I think Justin will do just enough to win the game, but the defense
just enough.
You see what I did there?
No, just I know. Enough. I loved it. I loved it. That was great.
So I still think the Bears come out, and I think this is a revenge game for them because they are going to be out there to prove that they are a team to be fucked with coming next season. They're going to end up 8-9, right? That'll be 8-9. So
right.
I predict this 7 wins, but if I take 8. I said I'll be super happy, and you know what this team has done is shown growth over the last 7 games, and this is exactly what we've been looking for: growth from Justin Fields, growth from the defense, growth from the coaching staff, everybody, but the offensive coordinator has been growing. So that's the person that should be replaced.
Come out with some heart.
I say next week we smoke cigars. Let's do that.
If they come out with some heart, and if they don't come out flat in the second half, they'll be great. If they don't come out flat in the second half, my kids and I argue about this every week. No, it's not the third quarter. No, they come out flat every damn time. Look at the stats. It says it. They are flat. Fourth quarter, they're garbage. I don't care what anybody says.
An RC can.
I love Serge's imitation voice.
Like, it's gonna be so great. It's not the third quarter. But, and I love
like my mom, Serge. I am like having these like memories flash through my head. Steven, you're not enough. Steven, you're the only child. Steven, like, when are you gonna do something with your life? I totally
throw out the trash, Steven. Make your bet, Steven.
Yeah.
Steven, when are you gonna get a job?
Get a job. I'm just kidding. No, it's not that
bad. You just got one right. All right. Now that the football segment is over, Greg, share with our listeners where they can find your show, where they can find you on social media, and all your future projects.
Yeah, follow me at gbraggsjr23 on Twitter if you dare. It can be kind of wild on the mean streets of Bears Twitter, but I try to hold it down on there. Do my part to keep it civil and have fun with it. But even I get out of my skis every once in a while, somebody pissing me off. So
be you, man. I love it. I love
gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. I seen him cut him up. He was cutting him up, and
so like some of the fans have met their match with me because like I think they've been so used to all these years of going at the reporters, and they don't really say much back. They just act like they don't. They read it. Trust me, they act like they don't read it. With me, I'm gonna get in the mud with you. I don't care if you got 3 followers.
You're throwing rocks at me. If you're throwing sand in my eyes, I'm throwing rocks at you.
Yeah,
I love that.
Long. So I'm a stickler for getting the last word in. So follow me at gbraggsjr23 on Twitter. Follow us obviously at CHGO Sports on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, the whole bit. And we're live every day at noon, doing shows daily, even in the off season. So we'll be getting everybody ready for, Super Bowl coverage, Senior Bowl, Combine, Draft, free agency, the whole thing. So I'm really excited for this offseason, just like last year, 2 of the biggest off seasons in franchise history. So excited for all the coverage and doing all that stuff, but that's where you can find me. But I appreciate you guys having me on tonight. It was a lot of fun. Anytime
you guys, you have to, in the, like when you guys are there, you got to do Super Bowl shuffle for the Super Bowl. I'd like to see that. That's great content.
Well, Carm knows the words by heart, because he was like 35 years old when that game was going on. So,
trust me, Jose and a couple of, like, I'm the youngest out of all my friends, so I give Jose, Big Z some shit because.
Well, I say that because I'm jealous. I mean, I didn't get to see the dang Super Bowl. I was 2 months old. Nice. There you go.
Oh, I wasn't even born yet. I was still somewhere with my dad.
I was alive. At the very least, I was alive. So if they never won one of my lifetime, or like in my, in my life of watching the team, at least I'll say it happened in my lifetime. But yeah, 2 months old when they won. So
you're the reason why it happened. There you go.
Here's the crazy part about that. A couple years ago, I was like, what was the first Bears game when I was born? And I went back and looked, and lo and behold, I was born on November 29th, 1985. And the very next game was the Bears versus the Dolphins in the 85 season. The only game that team lost. I cannot freaking believe it. So maybe I am a curse.
No, you're not. Take that back. Well, there's no curses here. If anything, I'm the bad egg.
Yeah, so I'll wear it. But yeah, again, thank you guys for having me on. Happy to come on anytime you guys ever need. Just hit me up, and I'll find a way in my schedule, doing all these different things to come on and chop it up. And the other thing too is make sure you guys tweet at me so I know, because like sometimes that putting the handle with the name. I see yours, JC Dynasty. I'll find that one, but like. Tweet at me and then I'll follow you back, and then you guys can hit me up whenever you want. Obviously,
I'm one of the two that liked your predictions. Or
I'm gonna be like, oh, you won't believe what Bragg said tonight.
Yeah, no, mine's nowhere on the weekend.
Oh, feel free, put that shit on Twitter. Go, Braggs is back on the Caleb train, and then just watch everyone rip me to shreds.
Oh Jesus!
That's our new segment. What did Bragg say?
I know that'd be a great one.
Yeah. Just call me the flip flopper. All right, guys, have a good night.
You too. Right. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, bear down, boys.
All right, everybody. That was Greg Braggs from CHGO. Thank you, Greg. Wow, what an amazing person.
Really nice guy. I don't know what that's like in my life.
And you know what? He's not used to us being very polite to each other, right? He's used to like the whole chaos. It's a little different when we're producing our own show and paying for it out of our own pocket.
Really? You know what that means?
You show up to a studio, you just be in front of a mic and put headphones on. It's a big difference. You can yell at each other, no big deal.
As I'm saying this, Sean's texting me right now. So,
he doesn't listen to the show anyway. That's okay. All right, guys.
My show. What'd you say? I'm kidding.
Jesus Christ.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Quick break. Let's get a refill on our drinks, and we'll hear from our commercial sponsors. So we'll be back with the loop. Talk some bulls. All right. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15
for 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to Nowhere on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots. So let's kick it back over to Big Z.
Nowhere on the Weekend.
Woo! Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with Big Z featuring No Sweat Surge, JC Dynasty, and Stevie B from the No Water Weekend Podcast. That was intense. I literally went to the washroom, picked up 2 beers, and washed my hands. All it's 90 seconds? I'm out of breath. I need to get back in shape. Steven muted.
muted. So Sturge,
No,
as well.
sorry. I said performance happens when you get older and you have to pee. You know, it takes a little bit. So,
Dude,
1 in 3 men.
He
You know?
didn't wash his hands long enough, but that's okay. He's just touching his own equipment.
Yeah, there you go. Totally fine.
I'm not shaking hands with anybody. That's right.
No.
That's right. So let's get into it. That way we don't upset the sponsors. And let's talk with the Loop. So this is the Loop, our Chicago Sports Roundup, where we keep you in the loop.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
All right, gentlemen. Let's talk Bulls basketball. So
Let's do it.
Yeah, I know Steven's excited for Bulls basketball, right?
Let's
We'll
do
put
it,
this on the
man.
show.
Trade Zach Lavine.
All right, this segment is over and it's brought to you by Grit Clothing.
10 seconds in. Trade him.
Trade this motherfucker. Yeah, there's that. It's now
He
practicing
was warming up today. You know, it's good enough. Take a walk.
Take a walk. Well, we got to get some compensation for him because he's owed a lot of money.
Let's do it.
So right now, practicing with the Winnie Sydney Bulls as the Bulls travel to Philadelphia for that back-to-back game.
Right.
Vooch is still out. I think Tony Craig is still out. I think he's going to be out for a couple months. But Vooch is still out. He looked okay. He was on the broadcast on Saturday, I think it was Saturday.
Yeah, he was on Nowhere on the Weekend on Saturday. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, sure he was. But what does this team do if Zach's healthy?
I will
Trade
say
him.
this right now, and I'm so passionate about this because you guys know I'm Ivan when it comes to the Cubs or the Bears. Why he's not here because he's probably kind of hungover. But I will say this with the Bulls, month of December 9-5. It's not that bad. I'll take 9-5. Some of them were really close games. Billy Dolphins provided positive updates on the status on Thursday against the Pacers. They should have won that game, but defensively they didn't do that well. And then I'll say this right now, Lonzo Ball, right? This is coming out and saying that he is getting ready to run in January. So I'm thinking, if you trade Lavine, think about Kobe White and Lonzo Ball. How great. You might not see that being a dynamic duo, but it might just work out. I think that's a great opportunity. Kobe's been putting up numbers. Patrick Williams has been putting up numbers. Andre Drummond feels like he's 26 years old again, or maybe 25, and he's getting rebounds. He's scoring. He feels young again. He's not you're giving this guy a new youth in his life. And I love this team. Even if they lose, you see the hustle. You see them try. I think with Lonzo, might come back, keep him. But, with Lavine, it's hey, man, your contract's too big. You want to go somewhere else. You want to win. Let's get some capital. Let's get some picks. But, I know JC wants to trade him to the shittiest team to make him suffer.
Pistons, baby. Pistons.
We've
okay
said
with
this
that.
multiple times, and I laugh at it every time. But, I'm happy to see, Patrick Williams and see Kobe White develop because they're being themselves and they're growing as a team, and it's camaraderie. It's unselfish basketball. I love it, even if they lose.
I just want Zach Lavine to look in the mirror and say, "Oh shit, maybe I was the problem." That's it. That's all I ask. If you can look in the mirror and say out loud, "Oh shit, I was the problem,"
I laughed so hard my headphones fell off.
Then I might change my viewpoint on you and be like, "All right, he may be not that bad of a dude," but until then, bro, You want to go to the Lakers, you want to go to the Kings, you want to go to Philly, you've listed everywhere but the Bulls. And as far as I can tell, we're 10 wins. How many wins?
9
7
and 5
out of 10
right now. 9 and 5.
9 and 5 in December, 10 and 5 in total.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, that's more than when your ass was playing. So
Right. What does that show you?
It shows ISO ball does not work in the modern NBA.
And even Vooch isn't even there, and they're still winning. And that's the thing where it's like, yeah, Vooch is a great player, shoots a three, is, you know, in the paint, and he's, you know, heavy footed, but he still, you know, gets his double doubles or triple doubles. But at the same time, it's like everyone is doing their job, sharing the ball, and Lavine goes maybe 10 or 12 and maybe 4 assists, or another night 61, and everyone else has low numbers. It's not equal. I think just because you're an all-star and a USA medalist, somewhere in your head you get a little bit, you know,
the inflated ego.
Right.
And
It's like,
his head is huge, and the problem is that he considered himself a superstar before he was even a star.
right.
Yes, you won a slam dunk competition. So how many high schoolers can win a slam dunk competition? Simple as that. They can be creative and win. So I don't care about that.
Dunk contest
Little Robinson won.
Isn't even in the NBA.
Bud.
Go on YouTube, look up Jordan Kilgallen. He's one of the best dunk competition guys, and he ain't even in the NBA. And he's white. So again, to me, Zach Lavine.
That's JC's hero.
The guy who won this year was white. What are we talking about? And he was.
Hey, look, man, he got some vertical.
JC, I think me and you are the same shade right now. So
yeah. He was a.
Hold on, let me change up my lighting. Where's my lighting? I'll change up my lighting. Hold on.
I put a tanning light on right now so I could compare myself with Jose and Serge.
I'll let my cheeks get all flushed with the lighting.
I'm gonna piggyback up what JC was saying when he was saying, "Look in the mirror." All of a sudden, the Michael Jackson song came on, "The Man in the Mirror." You know, when he started singing, "I'm looking to change my ways."
In the mirror.
All right, so this is my problem with the Bulls, and you know, Lonzo Ball, like the guy, he did great for us when he was playing for that instant second. $20 million, and I'm gonna tell you, he's sprinting right now. He's not even running. Let's just get him off the roster. I want to move on from him. I want to move on. I know we can't.
Who else is out there that you could pick up?
But who do we need to pick up right now? Who do we need to pick up right now when we're winning?
Not only that, like with Lonzo, when was the last time he shot a ball? Can he even shoot?
No, yeah, he can shoot.
I know it's muscle memory. I know it's whatever, but to me, like, you haven't shot a ball.
There's been reports where
shooting in the gym and shooting in a game is completely different. So I agree with JC right there. And there was that feud that he had with Stephen A. Smith, right? Because he stood up from a chair and dunked, and he's like, "Oh, you did it flat-footed." And he's like, "Dude, I've been dunking for a while."
Yeah.
Right.
But like you can you will never be
a basketball team. Like, whatever, Stephen A. You're good at being loud. Good for you. I don't care.
He's not gonna be 100%. He's not gonna even be 80% when he's better.
No, he might end up being the next Grant Hill or the next who was it at in Portland?
Greg.
I don't want to shut someone off like that, because look at Cody Bellinger. You know, he came out and been a star. And Jose's going to hate this because then compare sports with other people. You're an athlete, right? It's just everyone's different. Everyone's different.
Yeah,
everyone's different.
Everyone is different, but I'm saying as some people, their body does not recover ever.
Right.
Grant Hill came back and then was playing for Orlando or someone else. Like, he wasn't the same Grant Hill that was in Detroit. What I'm saying is that he is not going to be, and I agree with Serge, he is not going to be the same player that we saw before. We're going to get a 65% Lonzo Ball. Will he get back to 100%? I doubt it. I think he'll get to 85 at max, and by that point, he will not be with the Bulls, so it doesn't even matter. What I love Lonzo right now, yes, because he can control the offense, he can run the offense.
Yeah,
this is what Kobe has been doing But I feel like at this point, Kobe is so tired of doing everything that his shooting has slipped off. It's
A
slumped
little
off
bit,
now.
yeah. He's not
He
been
went,
the guy who's like always.
the other day, and like 2 for 11 or 15, whatever it was from 3-point line. So it's coming to a head where he can't carry the team, but the rest of the players are picking up the slack. You got Andre Drummond, which is the smart thing to do. The dude is fucking huge.
Yeah,
Feed him the
big
ball.
boy. You should be
let
able
him-
to body out the young guys and push them out and board them. Yeah, no.
But that's old school basketball. This is the conversation I had with my kids again, and I know I always
He
say this.
can't hold on to the ball. The problem
Old
is if you get the ball low, he drops the ball and he'll lose it. Give it to him dead in the chest, let him dribble once and go up. He'll again. Yeah, exactly.
But that's
Let
the
him do
issue. You
the-
can't drop it. You just got to go up with it. But that's his mentality. That's his training. That's shows
No,
his
I
age.
don't give a fuck about his training or his fucking mentality, whatever. That is basketball 101. If you're the big man, that ball does not go below your chest. You hit that dude in the chest, it's up here. You take a step, use your elbows, and go up. Simple.
Can't use
basketball.
elbows now. But yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
You're right.
You
Yes.
can use elbows to protect yourself. You
But
just
he's
can't.
playing old
swing
school
'em.
basketball because look at you got Giannis, you got Jokic, you got Embiid, you got all these centers.
If one
that
of them
look-
gets hit in the face with an elbow, that the person
They
who's
get
doing
hit
it is going to
here.
get attacked. I
They
No,
just
no.
feel it.
Yeah, hit him in the
Like,
Hit him in the chest.
no,
they-
I
but they-
love that. I love physical because that's what makes the sport. Now it's like kind of soft. Like you can't like move elbows. If one of the superstars gets hit in the face or get
can't
like
sneeze on
chips
him.
the- and it's just
Oh,
like
wow. Next time
Yeah.
you won't be there, will you?
right.
Simple as-
And I agree with you both, but it's
Mm.
just like it sucks because like we want that kind of physicality, but then if you do it, you're
He's
considered
but
a
he's
dirty
doing it now.
player.
He's
They're
doing
considered
but
a dirty
whatever.
player.
Okay, let's
No,
put it
no,
this
no,
way.
no, he's not going to be considered a dirty player. If you're a physical person, that's going to be the reputation you get. You're not Grayson
Draymond
Allen.
Green.
Whatever he's doing,
Everybody's
is
being a
working.
Grayson Allen, same thing. Yes, they're
Yeah.
fucking dirtbags.
Yeah,
Right.
Whatever he's doing, is working.
physical, but then
Yeah.
it turns into something worse because he's like become something
Yeah.
different. Not physically.
He's
Now
trying to
he's
be
doing it
Roger.
as spite.
Mayhem in the
He's trying
palace.
to be Roger.
Right.
But
Rodman's
that's
whatever,
great. I'm just saying.
but whatever he's
Yes,
doing
yes.
is working because he's back to that. I'm staying in the center. I'm going to rebound. We have offensive rebounds on our stats. Did you see
I'm
that?
right. Yes.
my God.
You're right. It's
What
What
rare
is
to
an
see.
offensive rebound? What is that? Because
Can you
everybody
imagine
goes
if
back
you
and,
use
and wants to jack up shots.
Yep. They
What the
just
hell?
watch it go by.
Yeah. So Drummond is playing the actual center role, and B doesn't do it. I'm sorry. The other Giannis doesn't do it. Jokic
No.
does it to a certain extent, but they like to jack up threes. Drummond is in the paint, boxing out people, not elbowing, but he gets
No,
in there and does
right,
his thing, and
right.
he's doing what he's supposed to, and that's
Yeah.
what I love. But my problem with all of that, when Lavine comes back, is the stationary. Everyone's not going to move anymore. And I
Right.
think
It's just watching. We're waiting for you. Pass me the ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what my thing is with Lavine is that he said it
And-
when they won the first 5 in a row, and you see him sitting there like these motherfuckers. Are
Where's he
moving
at
out
now? Do you see
You
him on
know?
the bench now?
He
You
can't.
know
He's
what
been
it is?
sitting there.
Where's he
It's
at?
all guys in practice that don't get the ball because he's fucking jacking up threes in practice.
Yep.
And all these guys are like, guess
But
what?
have you seen him
I'm
on the
board
bench? Yes or
now. I'm
no?
showing you what
Mhm.
I can do. But he had 35 minutes in 18 games to 21 point average, 44% from the field, 33 from 3-point land, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal. These are not superstar numbers.
No,
These
absolutely
are
not.
role player numbers. You are not a superstar. Does a dog? What was it saying? Does the sun shine on a dog's ass once a day or some shit like that?
I
Whatever.
don't know. I
fucking-
never had a dog.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day. So
That's a good one. That's a good one,
There
right?
you go. That one worked.
Levine's gonna pop off twice a year for 40, 50, 60, whatever. So what? Then the next game
That's
you're gonna have
Kobe Bryant. That's what Kobe Bryant could do
No,
because
no,
he's
no.
was
proven
consistent.
to.
Kobe Bryant won
consistent.
scoring titles. Kobe Bryant was able to dominate when he had the ball in the end of the
That's
game.
my point.
Zach
That's
did
what
not
you could
clutch.
do. That's what he
Zach
could do.
did not finish the game. Zach will
Right.
take the most unnecessary shot from fucking 45 fade away with
Thank
his
you.
eyes
Yes.
closed. Be
Yep.
fucking horrible. That's why he's never been a closer. He's never been a superstar. He never will be that. And as simple as this, you've got to get rid of him. The problem is that this contract is too big.
nobody
gonna have to
wants him.
Bullshit
Right.
coming back.
He's
The
not, he
Lakers
doesn't have a
even
market.
flip-flopped.
And JC's over here laughing because he knows that we're all right.
The Lakers
He's
even
already
flip-flop.
said that. Jason
The
already
Lakers
said
want
exactly
DeRozan.
Right.
They want Compton. They want DeRozan now. They don't even.
DeRozan just said he wants to go to New York if they trade him.
Yeah, like I'm okay if DeRozan goes. Like I'm happy for him. He's done his job.
I think he's a good voice.
No,
in
he's
the
a
locker
great
room.
player.
He's a great presence.
He's a
to
great
have.
player.
I don't want to get rid of him.
I mean, I don't either. But I'm just saying, if he wants to
You
go,
might as well flip him.
right?
He's older. It's his contract. You might as well flip him because
Right.
this team is not winning a championship this year, and it's
Right.
not winning a championship next year.
Right.
So
I'll agree with Jose on that.
Fair.
you've got to.
He's 28 mil. He's about 29. Yeah.
Let's go get John Salmons. Let's go Luol Deng. Let's get Joakim Noah back up.
Man, I've been sitting over here silent for like 15 minutes.
The margarita's hitting, isn't it?
Gibson is playing. Taj is on the bench for fucking New York.
Yeah.
JC, go ahead.
I was just saying, I've been sitting quiet over here for like 15 minutes, man. I was just, have at it. You all still talking Zach Lavine, man. That boy is traded. See you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
As he takes a sip of margarita, JC in the mix.
Hell yeah. I mean, like, how many weeks
JC,
in a row I gotta
you're
say
in the same
trade that
boat.
man to the Pistons?
Yeah, trade him.
Oh, I said that
Like I said, there's only so many weeks I can say trade that man to the Pistons. Like,
yes, yeah, him to China, whatever it takes. I don't care, even if we don't get anyone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, here's another guy. I do you guys trade this guy while he's still high and everybody wants him and he's a hot commodity? Is
Patrick Williams? Oh,
Yes.
Caruso trade.
Mr. Man of Glass. Trade that man. Trade him too.
But a lot of teams are asking about him. Like, hey, we want him because he
go JC.
It's a bidding war.
Sorry, other week he's hurt.
I think JC froze there for a second. Yeah,
JC's gonna say every week he's hurt. He's glass.
Yes.
And and I love Caruso. I love the defense. I love everything about him. But he is glass. And JC says the same thing. And I love and committed to what Caruso does. He gets hurt, and because he plays really hard. Now it sucks that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, JC, tell him, man of glass.
He's the man of glass.
That's fair.
There you go.
There you go.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Are we paying Patrick Williams more money, or what are we gonna do with this guy? All of a sudden he's playing.
I need more, but he's doing pretty well.
You want to know what the Bulls are going to do? Yes, they are going to pay that dude some money instead of trading him. And then
like Lavine,
they're not going to develop him, and he's just he'll have this up and down as usual. And if you do trade him, he'll become a great role player somewhere else doing double doubles.
Jose speaks from a vice with the White Sox, so father like son. Go ahead, Jose. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's completely true. Completely true. All right, Stevie B, you got any Blackhawks news? Because I don't.
Oh man, I was watching. My man, there's no heart left in me. When Greg was on here, I was like, he's like, I follow my heart. I'm like, dude, if I follow my heart's fucking black. There's nothing fucking there. They got blown out by Dallas last night, and you had one player in, saying that
8-1.
Yeah.
4-5 and then 8-1.
Right. Nick Foley Gino. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. He was pissed off after the blow off of in Dallas. Like, man, if you're on the Blackhawks and you're here to try to, showcase like you're still worth to be in the NHL, that's great. I love the passion. But look what team you're on. We're still learning. We're developing. It's a young team. It's like, of course you hate to fucking lose. Like, who wants to lose? But again, at the same time, it's like, what do you expect? It's a young team. Have fun. Do your best. But then if you're, I think he's in almost end of his career. It's like, hey, if you're not happy, well, prove it and go somewhere else at the end of the season. I don't be here and bitch about it and say like, oh, I'm pissed off. Well, don't you think everyone else on the team is pissed off to lose? We don't want to be last in the division. We don't want to lose. But hey, if we're still being ourselves and communicating, developing like chemistry and being a team, and teaching one another about different plays, how to read different like defenses, shooting the goal. Connor Bedard is doing great. It's like if I'm him and I'm seeing like older players are pissed off, that would make me feel, and he's 18, and I know all of us 18-year-olds, if we have a hero or someone older who's been in the league, we want to respect that person and don't want to let that person down. But at the same time, it's like you don't want that stuff in the locker room, and everyone's really young.
Yeah, screw that. You know what? At this point, Connor Bedard should go into the locker room and be like, motherfuckers, I'm the only one scoring. Get in line or get the fuck out.
Right.
You know what? I understand you're a vet. You've been in this game.
And everyone did their job, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I understand you've been playing hockey in the NHL forever. But you know what? I'm the only motherfucker scoring.
Right.
So, like, I can only do so much by myself. You know, if you're unhappy with the outcome, look in the mirror. Zach Lavine, go look in the mirror.
Man in the mirror. We see that twice tonight.
Dude, their goal differential is 50.
Are we doing that now? Oh no, I'm sorry. I drifted.
YouTube is gonna kick us off.
No, 15 seconds.
Differential. Only the Sharks, who are 2 games worse than us, have a minus 78 goal differential. This is what we're doing is we're tanking. We're tanking for the number 1 pick again. We're number 1. Otra vez. Yeah, hey, but you know, you had your
do we have the number 1 or is it the Sharks?
Okay with that.
No, it just feels like every Chicago team is always gunning for that number 1 spot.
Yeah, right now we're 2 games out. The Sharks have 9 wins. We have 11. So,
Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves.
How many times do we play the Sharks?
I couldn't tell you. I'm not a puckhead.
And the Sharks used to be good too when the Blackhawks were like, doing their dynasty. But I'm just saying,
yeah, like they took us out 1 year. Yeah.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, as older players, it's like when you come to a team, you're still trying to like revive your career, but like you can't be mad. You can't be mad at the outcome because like you're here. Teach.
Well,
Jose, look, if you can't,
I'm the GM. You want to bitch about a job? Hey, bro, go play in the AHL or fucking CCL or some. Go play somewhere else or go drive trucks or something, bro.
Yeah, go to the Wolves. Go to Allstate Arena if you want to like.
Yes, we suck right now. We don't have enough talent.
Right.
You know what it is? We have no defense. Right. It's as simple as that. Negative 50 differential. All right.
Right. No, and I agree with you. You're 100% right. I'm just saying, like, you want to be on the team, be on the team. Don't be an asshole. Like, just do your job, and the outcome is the outcome. That's all it is. And I'll defend every player because I love going to Hawk games. I haven't gone one this year because I'm waiting for JC and Jose. Christmas break for Jose is gone.
High, man. Those prices were high in those last games.
Well, I got a job now, so I'm ready to fucking go.
Oh, so Steven's gonna treat. Thanks.
Well, I'm not gonna treat. I'll drive and pay for parking, but
there. What goes to do that? I can walk there.
I hate driving. I'll let him drive.
Mijo, it's cold outside. I'll make sure you get in the car and we'll go. Dude, I picked you up many times and going to the United Center when you were at a bar. So don't give me this crap.
I'm a classic bitch. I need to be wined and dined, bro.
JC, I owe you. I will wine and dine the hell out of you. Okay.
There you go.
I got to the whole new podcast here.
No, JC is taking care of me, and I owe him.
TB and JC.
No, JC hooked it up, and I went to a concert, and I thanked him.
I know.
And I owe him, and I'll pick him up. He gets in the back, and I'll Uber him. I'll give him some wine or whatever he wants in the back seat, and we'll go to the game. I won't drink.
All right, should we change subjects and go to Jose's?
But yes,
White Sox.
No, we're not talking White Sox. We're not talking baseball. We don't have time for that.
Baseball's done. I've been crying myself to sleep with the Cubs every single day.
The lights got turned on at the bar. We're done, huh?
I'm done.
It's just all ugly chicks left.
I'd rather go home and watch internet porn.
We are no longer talking about that. All right, yeah, we are not talking baseball. The White Sox made some small moves on pitching. We're not going to talk about this episode.
No.
The Cubs done nothing. They've sat on their hands, making it a stranger, and we'll move on from that. So that is it for the loop. We just talked about the Madhouse on Madison, the two teams there, and we're going to take a small little break, and then we'll be right back, and we'll come back with what you're watching and stirring pots. So,
I got some good ones.
Oh, you do? All right. Well, we'll be right back.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15
for 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
What up? It's Martin Moreno, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast with Big Z in the house. We got a couple players in here. We got Stevie B, we got JC, we got Serge. So
Serge Ibaka.
Serge Ibaka. No sweat, Serge, sir. But you know what it is? It's that time again. And if you don't know what it is, Steven, what time is it?
Oh, it's stirring the pot. It's stirring it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we usually, we vary from topic to topic on stirring the pot. It doesn't always have to be food. And this week it is drinks. And we kind of alluded to it at the beginning of the episode, which was kind of funny, serendipity. But what is your favorite drink to have in your hand as the clock strikes midnight on New Year's? Serge.
I'm asleep. The hell am I doing up at 12? Do you know how old I am? 42.
You a grandpa.
Serge, last night was midnight. What were you sipping on, man? I know you were up.
Asleep. You know what? Okay. Before I went to bed, I had coquito.
Oh,
Coquito.
that's
what are we
nice.
getting?
I'm in Humboldt Park, man. I was
Awesome.
playing a different game over here. I'll tell it when I do my segment, but go ahead.
That's all I had, but I literally fell asleep. I wasn't even up at midnight.
What
Man.
is
I
on your skinny? Like, tell me.
5 o'clock a.m. Like, my bills didn't disappear at midnight.
Me either. I gotta pay rent.
Yeah, the fact that you went to the gym in the morning and I got a notification on my phone, my watch, that you went to the gym. I was like, this motherfucker. This motherfucker. I'm on vacation. I ain't doing shit. I go back to work.
It's all
That's
that
what I'm
W,
doing.
baby. You got to win.
I did see that W. Yeah, I did see that W in my watch. I'm like,
That's funny.
all the drinks already.
I was asleep, baby. I was asleep.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. 5 a.m. wake up call. I get it. Stevie B, what is your toy?
Man, I was having some champagne. Drinking tequila and vodka straight. It takes a while for me to actually get where I need to going. So at champagne, I went to sleep at 5 this morning because working 8:30 to 5, I can't stay up that late. So I've been taking care of my like Batman nighttime stuff. But I was playing the game last night. If you saw me on Twitter or on Instagram, I played the game. Is it fireworks or is it shots in Humboldt Park? You could play all night, and sometimes, you might go overtime, but hey, it's a family game and everyone wins, right? And I was doing that.
Family game.
Yeah, if everyone's home, is it shots or is it fireworks? But don't stand in front of the window.
Yeah.
The answer is both.
Well, it's a family game. Everyone's home, but no, I had champagne, and I've been actually drinking Prosecco and doing that stuff because if I drink vodka,
Did you order your training bra?
Yeah, I did, and they said it was out of stock because I need a big bunch, But no, I was having champagne because when I drink vodka or tequila straight, it takes me a while to get where I need to go. And Jose would make the joke, "Oh, alcoholism." No, it's because it's when you go run and I go running or I go to the gym, you need to keep lifting until you get stronger. So you get used to that weight. It's something with drinking.
You build up a tolerance.
I bet, yeah. But when it comes to Tuesday to Thursday, I'm on my best behavior. Like I'm in bed, no drink, I'm asleep, I'm going Mimi's. But yeah, I just, I like my drink, and I had champagne this weekend, so not to keep going on, but yes, champagne.
There you go. JC, what is your choice?
Bourbon.
Margaritas.
Margaritaville.
Jimmy,
it's margaritas. It's margaritas up until about 10 seconds left. And then once the countdown starts, unfortunately, it's a Rosé Brut champagne to do the little clink,
JC, we're in the same boat. Me and you are the same color.
No, nowhere near it. He's drinking a Rosé Brut, and you're drinking that Osco brand $7.99 bottle.
I got a new job. I can't afford that shit right now.
Hey man, it's okay. Napa Valley, the Napa Valley. I mean, they make Rosé Brut. You're good, man.
I'm drinking Costco brand.
Don't get me wrong. I do like
Jose's over here shit on Costco. So tell him about Costco and how good their products are.
Not shit on Costco at all.
That's where I got the Prosecco.
We're not buying Dom Perignon, okay? But like a Vouv, the Vouv Rosé Brut, excellent. But this year I went with the Napa Valley Rosé Brut. Does the job, And then, like I said, I got some other $9.99 bottles of champagne that we do mimosas in the morning. And like I said,
no, I appreciate when I came over the next day.
Back to margaritas.
Right. When I came over the next day, you provided the best service, more welcoming. Again, it was great. Great hospitality. Jose, were you there? No, you weren't.
There's a bromance going on here. There's a bromance happening.
I don't want to know anymore.
Hey man, it's don't ask, don't tell. But before we get on,
to me and Steven, like, we're all alone.
I need you now.
Oh my God, they're finishing each other's sentence already. All right, for me, it is going to be a whiskey. That doesn't matter. It's
old fashioned.
An old fashioned, definitely would love an old fashioned. Yes, definitely an old fashioned. But if I don't have that, then a Jack and Coke, Jack and Ginger is fine with me. So,
and after that, it's Bud Light and the actual.
I've never drank Bud Light in my entire life.
Okay, what do you order? Miller Lite and the actual.
Yeah, because it's called coasting. You get up to the highest point, and then you just coast, and then you take a couple beers on the way down. It's
I just
very
think I'm peeing the whole time.
Nah, I'm reckless. If I'm drinking, I'm reckless.
Oh, I love Serge's attitude. Come on nowhere on the weekend where we party all the time.
What is that, an IPA? Oh, fuck it, I'll drink it. And I fucking hate IPAs. And I'm like, the next day, I feel like crap, and I'm still in the gym at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Listen,
all right, boys.
Okay, JC, take a shot of that. You had margaritas. Take a shot of that.
Trace, Eagle Rare, aged 9 years, bourbon. Excellent stuff. Can't recommend enough. If you're lucky enough to find it, of course. But like I said, bourbon can't go wrong.
All right, guys, let's get out of here. Before we do that, what are you watching is in sports? Serge, what are you watching?
You said it's sports.
Come on.
Something that's not sports.
Oh, something that, you know what? Don't laugh at me because I'm going to be pissed off if y'all laugh.
Paw Patrol.
I won't laugh. I won't
say
laugh.
Paw Patrol.
Pokemon.
Nah, it's the cheesiest shit in the fucking world. But
Rick and Morty, South Park.
No, come on.
Bluey.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that either. The Steve Harvey Show. I've been binge watching.
That's great, man.
Steve.
Why is he? Jose almost spit his drink out.
I'm thinking of I wasn't thinking his funny show sitcom. I was thinking when he was a judge, or when he started on some other show,
the Steve Harvey Talk Show.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The Steve Harvey Talk Show.
He had a TV sitcom based out of Chicago.
Yeah.
Yes.
He had the kids, the inner city kids. And
yes, when he was on a radio in Chicago as well too.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that when I watched this show, and one of the kids who was a promising actor, and I couldn't bring myself to watch the show because he was shot and killed in real life after they made they had like 6 seasons. So it made me sad because I can never bring myself to watch these shows when an actor has passed. And I'm first to admit it. But then I bought myself. Now I'm on the last season. I'm like, oh, he's gonna die pretty soon, and I know it. But I'm watching these cheesy shows, these sitcoms, and I find myself entertained by it. You know, old school 90s. They're wearing beepers. They're talking about Michael Jordan's coming to the school and all excited and it's cheesy ass fucking lines. So I get excited when I watch stupid shit because I start reminiscing about
the good old days.
Yeah,
good old days. I finished your sentence. How about that, Jose?
Snake on an old ass Nokia.
So yeah, that's what I've been watching. I watch a lot of old school bullshit.
Nice. I love it.
It's all good. Stevie B, what you watching?
I've been watching Reacher. I'm almost done. I got 2 episodes left. Paige had gone to her sister's, so I've been watching it. What If I've been watching in Marvel. I've been watching that too when she sleeps because it's not something that she actually enjoys. But we've been watching Unstable on Netflix with Rob Lowe and his son, and it's hilarious. It got picked up for another season on Netflix. I think it's hilarious. It's really good. JC, I gave him a couple comedy movie references, but honestly, I think he might like this one more than the other one that I gave him. It's on Netflix. If you have Netflix, JC, Unstable, which is me, but in general, it's Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe is a funny guy. I think he's good at being a comedian, but it's funny because when you see his son talk, it kind of sounds like him. And past weekend, I heard other people in the office where I'm working at, they know my dad, and they're like, your mannerisms, the way you talk, it sounds like your dad. I'm like, I don't know what you mean. But now when I see it and like with Rob Lowe and his son, I'm like, I get it.
You get it.
But I'm not my father. So I can relate to a lot of the episode. The kid doesn't want to be his father and stuff like that. So
let me ask you something. When you started watching Reacher, because I saw the first season, I'm on the second season as well. Were you disappointed that the guy was a giant and it wasn't like a Tom Cruise figure?
No, he's 6'2", and I don't believe he's 6'2". I believe he's 6'5" or 6'11". That guy's big. He's wide. Yeah, he's a big guy.
No, Alan Richardson is. I think he's 6'4".
There's a book, right? There's like a book.
Yeah.
In the actual book, the character is a 6'4", like built jack dude,
right?
Which is why when the movies came out with Tom Cruise, there was a lot of flack,
right?
Because he did not, meet the character description of the book,
right? Yeah. I don't want to think this guy. He's a great actor. I want him to be like the new Batman, but he's wide built, better abs than I have. And it's just like, I think he's like 6'5" at least. This guy's big and tall enough, and the action scenes that he does in Reacher get better and better. I mean, it's the shit that I picture in my head when I get into a bar fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he only pictures it.
But the only thing is,
no, because no one wants to step up because I don't get the opportunity. So
I didn't know there was a book.
There was an interview with Alan Richardson, who plays Reacher, and they were basically doing a guessing game with him of like, is this person taller than you or shorter? Mm-hmm. And like he must be like 6'4", because like they were asking him about like, oh, Michael Jordan, and he's like, oh, he's shorter than me, like I've met him. And then like he was talking about like all these different actors and whatnot. So he's got to be like 6'3", 6'4". in real life.
And I was only disappointed because I didn't know there was a book until everybody said you're a dumbass, because if you read the fucking book, it says he's 6.
Sorry, I was playing the game. Is it fireworks or gunshots right now? That's why if you saw me take my headphones off, I'm not kidding. I was like actually listening to what was going on outside. Sorry.
Yeah, Alan Richardson is 6'3", and in the book, the character is 6'5". So he's 2 inches shorter. So what? That's not a big difference. He's not Tom Cruise where he's fucking 5'6". So
he's amazing. He was in Teen Titans. He's a great actor. Fucking stud. I would love to take a punch from him.
His best acting was Thad Castle, Blue Mountain State.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I swear to God, I would. And it would make
It's
me
kicked
happy.
off YouTube or whatever, but one of his famous quotes is cocaine.
Yeah,
it is.
I love him.
Oh
If
God.
it's white, you're in the right, man. Right, GC?
Wow.
So
I'm kidding. Not with like that. No.
I'm going to ignore whatever Steven said.
No, I'm kidding. I'm playing around. That's no on the weekend talk. No, but
so I'm gonna say
he was shitting on my podcast. You could see no one on the weekend right now. Jose was a guest, and it was him and Sean talking about the whole time about the good old days, and I was silent the whole time. So check out 2024 episode.
Oh no.
Oh man. That's Pat is up, JC. Pat Swanson. Sure.
So what I've been watching is again Jack Reacher. Also caught up on the holiday special with Doctor Who. And then the last thing I started watching, I went back and started an old TV show that I watched a couple years ago called The Magicians. So kind of some obscure stuff to throw out at you for, the listeners to check out.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm on the Jack Reacher train as well. I love that show.
How many episodes do you have?
How many what?
How many?
I'm caught up.
Do you have left? Oh, you're done?
No,
I have two more.
No, I'm caught up.
I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say the Reacher season isn't over yet. I think there's 2 or 3 more episodes.
Yep.
Yeah,
oh, really? Oh, shit.
Short
Okay.
season. Very short season.
Yeah, I think they're on episode 5 now, and there's 6, 7, and 8. I think still to come.
Yep. Let's see. For All Mankind, I've talked about it multiple times on both shows, on Steven's show and on my show. For All Mankind. Yep,
Sean's
definitely. Sure, if you want to say it's Sean's show, sure, that's your whatever. That, and then right now in the background, I usually have a show on. I just finished Sopranos, my background show when I'm doing stuff. Right now it's Sons of Anarchy. It just plays in the background, and I'll catch 5-10 minutes and then go back to doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I am going to, once I finish editing the show, I'm going to jump on What If and binge all of that.
Yes.
Current. Again, those What If episodes are all great. So expect nothing but good things from Marvel.
I'll say season 2 is a lot better than season 1, but yes,
And
I agree.
I think Echo dropped today. Am I correct? Echo?
I haven't watched it. I have to
dropped
hire a
today.
translator.
Why do you have to hire a translator?
I don't know sign language. I'm kidding. I'm being funny because I'm being funny. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna watch the show, but she is a great actress, and I would watch it. I'm gonna watch it right now if it dropped.
I think it dropped on Hulu, so you can probably find
Hulu? No, it's gonna be on Disney Plus.
Same shit. It's all one company there.
Are any of you guys Mark Wahlberg fans?
Yeah, his movie on Apple TV is really
Family
good.
Plan. The Family Plan.
Yeah.
I did check that out. I kind of like
You
it.
did? It's a good worth the 90 minutes.
Yeah, it was worth it. It was cheesy, but it fit.
Yeah, I watched that again. There was one good joke, which was at the end of the movie with the wife, that I thought was pretty freaking good. I don't want to ruin it, and for whoever's listening, but it's basically talking about her doing college athletics, and
yes, I know
her
which one
basically
you're
saying
talking about.
like,
And then
yeah.
then there was. I get it.
Yeah, that was
phone,
the best line of the whole movie. Was like,
yeah,
bitch.
yeah, bitch.
No, I loved it. That was a great scene.
So, yep.
Amazing. All right, boys. It's been a long and a tough episode. I know it's been an hour and 48 right now, but we had a guest, and it's
and there's 4 of us.
Yeah, total of 5 people, so it will be long. Sorry if you're not a fan of the long
You
episode.
guys went way too long on the Zach Lavine.
Yeah, we did 15 minutes on Zach Lavine for no reason, right? Our usual Zach Lavine.
God damn it.
We did on Zach Lavine. And congratulations, Zach Lavine, on his second child. Side notes: we have Devin Hester as a finalist and Mongo as a finalist for Pro Football Hall of Fame. So we're cheering for them to get there and get their brass ring, or what is that, yellow jacket, gold jacket, whatever.
Yellow jacket, I think. JC,
Gold jacket and the bust.
there you go.
Yeah.
And when is the christening or the rings or the ceremony of the old players? Or when is that?
That's
It's the Hall of Fame game. So it's like preseason. So
That's
first
all
game
The
of the
last
season.
game, I think.
It's the last thing. I thought it was this
No,
month.
it's the second or third game of the preseason.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, boys, it's time to get out of here. Thank you to our guest, Greg Bragg. I'm looking at
chest out.
saying it. Oh my goodness.
It's CHGO. Please do not say CHGO. I learned that today. I'm sorry, guys.
From CHGO Sports and also Bragg's in the stands. Thank you, Greg, for jumping on the show with us. We had a great time, and he joined right in. He fit right in as being one of the polite guys. He was like, "Excuse me, I would like to make my point." And so,
Don't watch Noah on the weekend. Don't listen to Noah on the weekend.
No.
Then, if you want that.
If you're a person, it's the easier thing to do. But when it's virtual, shit cuts off and it just sounds bad as audio. So a big thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official podcast t-shirt. Search your keyword True Chicago and use your promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. Get your shirt now. Check out Stevie B's show. It's called the No Water on the Weekend podcast.
Yes, new episode is out.
Yeah,
new episode's out. Jose's on it, and Sean. They pinned me against me in this episode. It's funny, and I love the bond between them. After the show ended, I got my ass, handed to me. Huh?
When we play Heads Up?
No. When everyone left, it was just me and my significant other. So I got you. I can say that now because she's not here. But no, it was a good time. Jose and Sean have a great relationship. They bond really well. It's a fun episode, so check it out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. Available every Monday afternoon. Shout out to Ramona Paddock and Serious Beats and custom made for the beats we played on today's audio version of the show. Check out PaddockOnTheBeat.com for your moment merchant gear. You can check us out on social media. Type in True Chicago Sports or TCSF Fans. You'll find us on all the socials. And you can email us at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. All right, y'all. For JC, Stevie B, and Surge, the No Sweat Surge, I am Big Z, and we'll see you next time for episode 176. And until then, be good to each other for the love of sports. Peace.